The inspirational leader always does appraisals. Now, I know that appraisals don't sound very inspirational. They feel like a boring HR duty that has to be done. But actually, appraisals are really, really important. I've never seen a good company that doesn't do appraisals. And I've never seen a bad company that does appraisals. So they really are a litmus test of whether your company's any good or not. They are absolutely vital because they solve every problem you might have between a boss and the person who works for them. So they solve the following problems. They solve, I think I'm good when I'm not, because my boss is going to tell me. They solve, I think I'm not very good, when actually I am. They solve, I don't know whether I'm any good or not. They solve, I think I'm okay, but I worry about what my boss thinks. I think my boss thinks I'm not very good, when actually my boss is fine, but I don't know that. They solve the problem of, I know I'm not very good, but I think I'm getting away with it. And they also solve the whole problem of bosses just not giving people feedback, because sometimes bosses have to be forced to give people feedback, and the appraisal will do that. They solve anything like that. They also solve problems like, I'm getting bored, I don't know where my career's going next, I don't enjoy my job anymore. Because in everyday work, you're probably not going to talk about things like that. But when you sit down for an appraisal, you talk about the future. So they are really, really important, and you must do them. Great bosses always do appraisals. Now, I wouldn't worry about trying to force everyone to do them. Maybe you should, I'm not sure. But the main thing is just do yours really well. So lead by example. Make sure that you always do your appraisals. Make a real effort to do them well. Ideally, you want your managers to do appraisals as well. And I think you could say to them, aren't you doing yours and why aren't you doing them? But I think the main thing is to always lead by example and always make sure that you do them. And explain to people why you do them. Explain to people how important they are. A final thought about appraisals I think is really key is make a summary list of all the agreed improvement areas. So it's very easy, I think, when you do an appraisal to say to somebody, I want you to be a bit better on the detail, or I want you to try to be a bit more patient with difficult customers. And that's easy to say, and the person goes, yeah, I'll try and be a bit more patient. And then nothing happens. And a year later, you say, oh, by the way, you never did do that, did you? And they go, oh, sorry, I forgot. So it seems to me the only way to make the actions happen is to make a little summary list. So ideally, after you've done, let's say, 10 appraisals for 10 people who work for you, you should have one piece of A4, and on there it should have the name of each person and then 2 or things they've agreed to work on and improve on during the year. So then every month you can just look at that piece of paper and just think, oh yeah, Fred was going to be more patient with customers. Is he? Oh yeah, Fred was going to learn about Excel. Is he? Or Fred was going to be more careful about the detail and his quality control. Is he doing that? And if he's not, you could say to him, Fred, how are you getting on with that? Do you need any help? Do you want to go on a course maybe? How should we do this? How should we get it to happen? So you've got your summary list. You don't have to go back into all the appraisal forms and look for what the actions were. I think you should have a 1-page summary of those. So where are you at with your appraisals? Have you got them booked? Are you doing them? Are you making sure you do them really well? And how about my idea of having a list of the actions on a 1-page summary?